already know the drill. We back again with another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And strap on your seatbelts, cause it's all pedal to the metal from here. And without further ado, your amazing host, Drew Billy.
Welcome back to another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Almost fucked up the whole production there, Trevor.
We got her going, buddy. We're good.
Okay, but anyways, welcome back to another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys with your host here, DB, and host Trevor Dinsmore. Trevor, how are we doing tonight? If you're watching us now, you're seeing a different scenery, Trevor.
Yes, I am I'm near Sheboygan, Michigan, right on Mullet Lake. We got a nice little lake house here. A few friends from college rented it for the week. We're here until Saturday, and we've been here since this past Saturday. So here a full week, having a good time. We're on lake time, as they say, which is time does not exist other than 8 p.m. on Tuesday because Buckle Up with the Boys is gone.
Right. But no, a lot of news. Trevor's dedicated as well. Jesus Christ. Is that the lake behind you right there?
That is the lake behind me, yes.
Okay,
it might fade in and out here. You can maybe see you can maybe see what's behind me here.
No.
If you're looking at the glove on a map, I think we're like close to the middle finger. If you're observing it as like a left hand, we're close to the middle finger on that. Yeah.
Looks bad.
Yeah, having a good time here, brother. And I plan on having a few more good times, if you know what I mean.
Hell yeah. No, but a lot of news to touch on. We have new cutscenes for Trevor's new segment, which if you weren't here last week, he'll fill you in a little bit, but we can't keep telling you every week. You got to stay here for the ride. You got to buckle up with us every week if you want to stay up to date. But anyways, Daniel Jones and the Giants getting a skirmish with the Lions at their joint training camp practice. Trevor, what are feelings on this? Saw the video. Daniel Jones talking.
Yeah.
Little got in there a little bit, but
not really, but yeah.
What's your feeling on this? Do you like joint practices?
I love joint practices because it gives us stuff like this. It keeps us entertained in the build up to the off season. And quite frankly, I'm a proponent. Well, I shouldn't say I'm a proponent. I'm not against like fighting in these practices because you get it all out now, right? You save nothing for the regular season where there's like big time consequences because you're on national TV, everyone sees it, and the pressure's on the league to do something about it. You just do it at these practices, and then McAfee show gets a hold of it, ESPN gets a hold of it. And it's just a nice little reporting segment for them without a whole lot of consequences because they're still at these technically private practices. But as far as Daniel Jones go, and I told you right before the show, he wasn't really skirmishing with anybody. He was more peacocking.
Yeah.
He was talking a lot of shit, probably about how much money he makes versus his actual talent level. And he wasn't really getting too involved in the physicality of things, as he shouldn't, because he is the starting quarterback for the New York Giants.
Right.
In the midst of hopefully some sort of rebuild season for that organization.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm okay with fighting in these joint practices. And I know that the Lions, they have some of the hardest practices out there in the league today. Dan Campbell is one tough SOB. That's been well established on this program and on various other outlets. I don't think I need to inform anyone about how big of a ball sack Dan Campbell has. And he runs his practices accordingly, according to McAfee, according to the likes of Feinbaum and Schefter. He runs some of the toughest practices in the NFL.
Right.
And naturally, some of those get physical.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those get a little too physical. Apparently, this one did too.
Right. No, I don't want to stay on it too long, but that one cornerback that was playing on that wide receiver, it looked like he put those fists out, man. He didn't give a shit. He's fucking.
Oh, I know, man. Yeah.
I mean, it has to fucking hurt a little bit. You punched the goddamn helmet, but whatever.
That's not the smartest thing in the world to do. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah,
it's not like
I'm not the one out there scrapping. I'm just talking about it on a podcast. So
right. Well, it's not like Brian Cushing taking his helmet off and headbutting the fucking lineman in that Texans game. I forget who it is. Jesus Christ.
That's true. I mean, you talk about one tough son of a bitch. Brian Cushing.
Oh, God. But anyways, moving on here. A little controversial subject. I know some people might get their panties in a knot, but that's okay. We're just, we touch on news. Harrison Butker, kicker, Super Bowl winning kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
A lot of comments. I don't really want to dive too much into those, but he did sign a 4-year, $25.6 million contract extension, locking him up for the long haul, Trevor. Besides his shit off the field, he's a very good kicker on the field. That's what
right. Like close to 90% career field goal percentage, Super Bowl record-setting kicker, multiple time Super Bowl champion, and one of the clutchest kickers in the modern game. I'd probably put him at the number 2 spot, right behind Justin Tucker,
right,
in terms of all-time legacy. Even at this stage of his career is far from over. He is that damn good. He is that damn consistent. Well deserved. I know, let's say, quote unquote, woke media, they're going to jump all over him again, resurfacing those comments that he made at a Catholic graduation. In his view, he was kind of reiterating Catholic values and so on and so forth. I don't know the full extent of it, so I won't comment too much. But I know that that's going to be a topic of conversation after he gets this multi-million-dollar deal. What highest paid kicker in history is that? 4 years, 25.6. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Passing Justin Tucker and Jake Elliott, $6 million per year average.
Yeah. Jake Elliott, Justin Tucker. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, his stats speak for themselves. It's not of
course,
like he doesn't deserve the contract. I mean, that's big money for a fucking kicker.
It is, and it's starting. Well, I shouldn't even say starting. It's continuing the trend of kickers are getting more valued than running backs.
Correct.
Running backs starting to become a dime a dozen. You cycle them in and out. Kickers, as much as you can cycle those in and out too, a lot of these guys stick around for the long haul. Your Jake Elliott's, your Justin Tuckers, your Harrison Buckers, they stick around for a decade plus, and they are consistent weapons, consistent scoring weapons for your team. If it's anything inside of 50, it's guaranteed you're getting 3, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, you can't take that for granted, and as such, they're giving them these big money contracts.
Right. No, I agree with you. And then other news as well, Anthony Richardson, year 2 starting here, Trevor. He did not have the most ideal first season.
He's got hurt.
He's finding that it's easier to manage his offense now. He's more comfortable, a lot more comfortable with what Shane is calling his coordinator. So I guess the big thing is here, the hobby, everybody knows this. Trevor's gone into it too, the card hobby. They fucking can't get enough of Anthony Richardson in the hobby. Is his stock as much as high as it is in the hobby that coming into this season on the field? Do you think he's going to produce?
I would hope so.
Okay.
I would hope so, because Indianapolis was able to produce a pretty decent season, even in spite of losing their star rookie quarterback. And in the games that he did play, he did pretty well for himself. I don't know the stats offhand, but I just remember looking at him last season. He passed the eye test. He, at the very least, passed the eye test. And he showed the potential of the top 5 pick that he is. So I can see why his stock is pretty high in the card market. I don't personally seek out an Anthony Richardson card. I'm more looking at Paul Skeens as we speak, and even Dougie, if you're watching, I will be looking for another Paul Skeens once you go live. So please do that ASAP. But anyway, after that little side note, yeah, Anthony Richardson, should his stock be as high as it is in the card market? I could see why it is. I could absolutely see why it is. And the way they got things rolling in Indianapolis, I got no problem with that at all. What are you doing over there? Are you having issues? What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. I can't see the comments here, folks. I'm running this on my phone because of the camera quality. You all right, Billy? You're still muted there, bud.
Okay, how's it sound now?
You're good.
Okay, can you hear yourself coming through my mic?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Or wait, no, can I hear myself? No. No. Normally. No, you're good. There's no echo, if that's what you're saying. Come on, Billy. Get it together here, will you?
All right. You know what?
You all right?
We're just going to roll with it. If you can't hear yourself, then we're going to be all right. Jesus.
No, I can hear me.
Fuck.
What's the deal here?
It's all fucked up. We'll be all right.
We'll just... Nothing's fucked up. I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
You're good. I don't know why you're fiddling with shit.
So what happens is it pops out, and I can hear myself, but then you're coming over my desktop, and I don't know if I'm just worried about viewers hearing you.
Oh, the echo. Yeah. No, I didn't hear any echo.
Okay.
I think you're all right.
Okay.
I got the old JBLs in, so I should be good.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. Back on task. Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Let's get back on task, brother.
Dustin, I'm trying my best over here. Okay. If I can.
Yeah.
All right.
You're all right, brother.
Appreciate everybody in the comments there. I shit myself. Okay. Fuck. Brock Purdy.
He does this all the time, folks. You think he comes off as he's more anxious than he lets on. I not to throw you under the bus there, Billy, but
I took 2 piss before the goddamn show. And a shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That nervous, eh? You gotta clean yourself out, clean your thoughts out too. There, just roll with it, Billy. We're good, man.
Brock Purdy, yeah. Okay, so big thing here, Brock Purdy. We'll get back on task here. Brock Purdy, Trevor. We've talked about him multiple times. Only making $900,000, less than fucking Al Michaels does calling his games.
Yeah.
A lot of his teammates, Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk, in major deals. We alluded to it before the show. He's not a UFA until 2026, correct?
26. Yep.
So,
He's got I think it's 1.1. Yeah, $1.1 million base salary, and about the same thing for his cap hit after the signing bonus proration that he elected.
Okay. So I guess I don't really get what the fuck this reporter was trying to look at here, because he's asking about the contracts regarding his teammates. Purdy follows up with the goal at hand is to go all the way and win and finish it and win a championship. So I'm not sure why money is even getting thrown out there.
Yeah. And this reporter, that's that Jonathan Jones, CBS Sports. That's who you're talking about? Bring this up?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Purdy said what he had to say. He said the teammate thing, right? We have a goal. I'm not too worried about the sorry, I'm getting notifications on my phone waiting for the Brandon Ayuk shit to clear up. And, of course, people are sending me freaking Ryan Reynolds tweets in the middle of this thing.
That's okay.
But anyway, Brock Purdy. Does he deserve a contract in the near future? Oh, absolutely. That's well established. I think I've said it many, many times on this program already. But as far as the perception that they need to give him an extension now, he's not even eligible for an extension.
Okay.
He's only eligible next year. Once the league year starts next year, he's eligible to sign a long-term extension with them.
Right.
He absolutely deserves it. But should the talk be about that right now? I understand media's got to stir shit up. They always need something to talk about. And just as we need something to talk about.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that reporter was going with it either. It just very stirring the pot type of question, just something to get news out there and get clicks.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, I've said it on our PlayStation parties as well. Would he be as good as he is with the weapons? I don't know. I have not seen him in a different system. So I know that's been out there. He was
not this good at Iowa State, I can tell you that.
No.
There's a reason he was Mr. Irrelevant. He was not anywhere near any sort of quarterback of the year, offensive player of the year, or Heisman Award in college. But he found the right system. He found the right weapons. He found the right coaching staff, and they got a good thing going in San Fran. They're not definitely not going to want to disrupt that.
No. Then other news as well. If you missed it on Saturday, there was a beautiful class of 2024 Hall of Famers, Trevor, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. One person that should be in there that was not there on Saturday was Hines Ward, which I'm still pissed off about, but that's all right.
Yeah, no, I know.
I got to give my flowers to the gentlemen that were inducted there. A lot of big names, just to name a few: Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Patrick Willis, Andre Johnson as well, and Julius Peppers. The other guy, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. No offense, Randy Gradishar. Yeah,
Gradishar. And I don't know if you said shout out to Mongo Steve McMichael.
Yes,
been dealing with ALS for quite a while. To see him get that, the highest honor of any pro football player can get. Very, very heartwarming, very touching, and very deserved. That 85 Bears and those 80s Bears are absolutely legendary. And Mongo McMichael was a big, big, big time part of that.
Hell yeah. No, but congratulations to them, and hope they're I can't even fucking think what they call those.
The busts. The busts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they shine bright in those lights in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Also, that's someplace I want to go, Trevor. If no one knows this, and you should, if you're a football fan. If you don't, it's not that expensive to get in. I thought it would be more. But check it out if you're in that area. Other news as well. Tyreek Hill signs a fucking deal here, Trevor. He got 2 of that contract by speaking up about how he felt about his quarterback. Then he gets his flowers as well. Gets a $90 million over the next 3 years, $65 million guaranteed. I feel he's worth the money with how the market is. I think that's a fair deal. And the numbers.
I was gonna say he wanted Jetta type money. He more than deserves it. You know, the guy. Some people projecting the guy to be over 2,000 yards again this season.
Right.
Which is absolutely, and the only reason he didn't get to it last season, he was hurt for, I think it was like 3 or 4 games. So he missed out on some, needed production to get to that spot. If I'm a betting man, I might throw some money at Tyreek Hill over 2,000 yards this season, and would be the first ever player to do that. If there's anyone that can get to it, it's him.
Right.
And quite frankly, if there's any offense in the league that can set the scoring record that the 2013 Broncos established, look out for Miami.
Right.
They could absolutely do that. And as far as the contract goes, 3 years, $90 million, totally fine with that.
Okay.
They know what they're about. They know what they're about, Miami. And they're willing to pay big bucks and invest in the team to keep things around, keep things square, and hopefully build a championship contender. They just got to start winning against winning teams. And as I've established many times before, they got to win in November, December.
Right. No, but let me just make sure there's nothing else here. That really fucked me up there, that whole fuck up. I'm still fucking.
No, I know. Yeah, I can tell you're still you're a little shaky from that. You gotta.
Yeah.
If you gotta count to 10, breathe in the nose, out the mouth there, Billy. Just like when you run, in the nose, out the mouth.
Right. God damn it. But anyways, no, I'll be back later on. I'll get a little break here. I'll push in some of my thoughts on Trevor's news here, and also his beautiful segments that, if you've been following along, have really taken the show to another level. But I'll be back later on with debate time. So take it away, Trevor.
All right. Awesome. We're going to jump right into what's more likely, if you want to cue that up, and then I'll get into my news right after that.
Okay, get the music going here.
Oh, hell yeah. You even got a new little chyron at the bottom there. I like it. New style. Yeah, it's bigger. It extends all the way across the page. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Week by week, we're getting there, man.
Yeah.
Steady improvement. Steady improvement on the graphics side of things. This is awesome.
Yes.
This is awesome. Anyway, of course, I run my own fantasy football league. It's a private league, so sorry. None of the viewers of this program can get in unless you've been invited personally by me. So naturally, I start looking preemptively at the position groups, seeing what players at each position are going to feature prominently in the fantasy drafts, and I write my own rankings on it. I got 14 teams in the league, so I generally do a top 14. I'll be doing those soon, Billy. Don't worry. But I was reading up a little bit on the wide receivers this week, and a couple names came across my list that were, in a lot of analysts' minds, potential fantasy busts. And that's not really as a result of their talent. It's a result of their quarterbacks being potential busts as well. So my question I will pose to you, who's the more likely fantasy bust at the wide receiver spot? Amari Cooper or Calvin Ridley? And Calvin Ridley's with the Titans, by the way, in case you forgot.
Got Calvin Ridley.
You got it? We're good. I heard you now.
Yeah, this is so fucked up right now. You got to. Okay, so I got the mic here. Okay, and what it's going on here, the laptop. So I just because I was worried that it was echoing. So I grabbed I put it in the laptop. Then that mutes me from talking into the mic, but the mic's not fucking working. I'm gonna go Calvin Ridley there.
Calvin Ridley, okay. That makes all the sense in the world to me. Amari Cooper, even with mediocre quarterbacks last year, got all the fantasy stats in the world, and I think he was still top 10. So yeah, to me, that's a relatively easy answer in Calvin Ridley. But Amari Cooper, you can make an interesting argument for as well, in that Deshaun Watson's just going to flat out stink.
You're right.
Which, but as a Steelers fan, I would love to see that. The Browns stinking. Yeah, I want to see that all day, every year, 365 days a year, every decade.
Yeah.
But my answer to this question, Calvin Ridley.
All day.
Yeah. So as of last night, when I was prepping for the show here, I figured out the White Sox, transitioning to baseball, the Chicago White Sox, they're on pace for about 44 wins this season. Not very good. Not very good at all.
No.
And there's been some bad teams out there. And one of them is the 1935 Boston Braves. You might know this team as the last team Babe Ruth was ever on. That team went 38-115.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. And to give you some perspective back to the White Sox side of things as to how horrible they really are, they're 31st in team ERA. They've given up the most walks, second highest walks hits per innings pitched, and they have the fourth most hits given up. So that's just on the pitching side. They're pretty bad at batting, too. They got the worst batting average in the league at 217, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got the second lowest home run total, second lowest hit total, and the lowest OPS. They're bad across the board, and that includes fielding. They're 26th in fielding percentage, just to rub it in a little bit more for Chicago White Sox fan. So my question to you is, and there's a reason I brought up those Boston Braves, who is more likely to be the worst team in terms of win-loss record? These Chicago White Sox or those 1935 Boston Braves? And if I recall correctly, I believe the White Sox set the AL record for longest losing streak last night. Believe that happened.
I'm going to go White Sox, Trevor.
You think they're going to go below 38 dubs?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to be there with you. I might have to be there with you. These White Sox, they've gone on multiple extended losing streaks throughout this season. It seems like they're actively trying to lose. As bad as that Boston Braves team was, and if you look up statistics on those, like the statistical fiend that I am, at least with old baseball stats, those Boston Braves were absolutely horrible in every facet of the game, just like these White Sox are.
Right.
In modern history, no one really compares to the 24 White Sox, maybe other than the '03 Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer the question, likely the 2024 Sox. They're going to be absolutely horrible. At the very least, the perception is definitely going to be that the White Sox were the worst team just because of recency bias. But in terms of win-loss, they could eclipse that 38-115 record as well.
Yeah. No, not a big baseball guy. If the Pirates are on, I'll try to catch a game. But I've watched clips, and it came up on fucking YouTube when I was watching it before the show. The worst moments of the season. They look terrible. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, horrendous. They are horrendous.
Their pitching's not good. They can't hit the fucking ball. The catcher's okay. I don't. It's just a shit show. I mean, it looks like they're trying to lose, Trevor.
Oh yes, no, I know. It's bad. It's very, very bad. And to clarify, they tied the AL record last night. They could set it. I believe they play tonight. They play Oakland tonight at 9:40. Of course, they're out on the West Coast.
Oh, Jesus.
So they could set the AL record with their 22nd straight loss tonight. And I want to say they lost like 16 or 17 straight, somewhere in that neighborhood earlier in the season.
It's
not good.
The field.
Yeah, it's you could throw a minor league team out there and they might contend with these White Sox. It's not good.
Right.
Yeah. So circling back to baseball, you're a little bit more familiar with. I'm talking NL wild card here.
Yep. So
as it stands, you got the Braves, Diamondbacks, and Padres in the 3 spots in the NL wild card. With the Giants, the Giants are 4.5 back. St. Louis is 4 back. Pittsburgh is also 4 back, and the Mets are 1.5 back.
Mm-hmm.
So we could easily see 2 NL Central teams if the Cards and Pirates get hot. We could see them slide up, or if the Giants get hot, we could potentially see 3 NL West teams in that wild card.
Okay.
So to you, which one is more likely? That we get 2 NL Central teams that move up into that wild card spot, or that we have 3 NL West teams in there at the end of the season?
I'm going to go with the latter.
You think the 3 NL West?
Yeah.
You don't see both the Pirates and Cards getting hot?
I don't know, Trevor. Being realistic.
No, I know. The history's not on our side. I know that.
I love the first one, but I'm going to have to go West.
Okay. To me, if I'm doing the math, Pirates and Cards are 4 back. San Fran not far behind. You require 2 teams to get into the wild card spots over the current teams that are in there. And then the Giants, they're only half a game more back. You only require 1 team to get up and potentially, it is kind of close. They'd have to overtake the Braves. All of those teams are within like a game of each other.
Right.
So it's possible. It's possible. I kind of have to agree with you. As much as I would want the former to happen. Just I want the Pirates to get in there, of course, and maybe they can make a little bit of a run. They got to get the bats going. De La Cruz and Kiner Falefa, they've been good. But we need to start winning games against good teams here.
Right. That's the only reason I say it is if they could fucking help Skeens just a little bit. I mean, we got a fucking we have no fucking issue winning games. They just can't get the bats going. And
I know.
And if they do get it going, they got to keep consistency. And if they don't, I don't know. I just it's tough.
It's tough when you really don't have one element of the game, and that's hitting. We don't have consistent hitting.
No.
Fielding's fine. Pitching is more than fine. It's among the best in the MLB, let alone the NL. But,
Right.
we got to work our way toward having some good hitters in there, too.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see how she goes, brother.
Yeah.
Circling to some Olympic action here. Two teams that really had diametrically opposed 2024 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking South Sudan and Slovenia. Slovenia out even before the Olympics started. They didn't qualify.
Okay.
They normally do with, Luka Doncic heading up that Slovenian national team. But you also got South Sudan, who's actually made some noise within the Olympics and gave the U.S. a hell of a run for their money in the qualifying rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you, who's more likely to medal in the 2028 Olympics? South Sudan or Slovenia? And those Olympics are in Atlanta, Georgia, by the way, if that helps you decide on anything at all.
I'll go with the latter again there, Slovenia.
Slovenia?
Yeah.
Okay. They do have the history. They have a much better basketball history. South Sudan more on the come up. It would take a miracle on ice type run for them to get a medal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it is only in 4 years. They could progress pretty quickly.
Right. And Luka, I don't know how old he is.
I think he's like 28, 27, 28, somewhere in that neighborhood.
He'll still be all right. I'll go Slovenia. Yeah.
Might even be younger than that.
Okay.
He is, he's even younger than me. Good God. He is 25.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, he'll be fine. 29.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Slovenia?
Yeah. All day.
Okay. I'm just gonna be exciting here and go South Sudan. I'd like to see South Sudan run it back, or not even run it back, run it all the way through.
Right.
That'd be exciting. Be exciting for Luol Deng and the boys. Get some new, fresh blood in there, so to speak.
Right.
I'd like to see that. That.
Here's the other thing too. He's basically funding the whole program. I've heard.
Essentially, yes. He from my understanding, he took a lot of his NBA earnings and funded it into that South Sudan national team.
I mean, fuck.
So yeah, all kinds of props to Luol Deng. He's doing some amazing shit in South Sudan. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's badass.
No, absolutely. Circling back to football here.
Uh-huh.
We just talked about the 2024 Hall of Fame a little bit. Elite class across the board, an elite class. We got some interesting folks coming up in 2025 that are eligible for the first time. The likes of Akeem Talib, Eli Manning, Vinatieri, Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch. My question to you, between these two gentlemen, who's more likely to get inducted on their first ballot? Adam Vinatieri or Beast Mode?
Oh, Vinatieri.
Vinatieri.
Without question.
Oh, wow. A kicker on the first ballot?
Without question. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I have to.
Oh, he's that damn good, huh?
Well, let's see. Okay, so
I know he's got the Super Bowl winning kicks. I know that.
But transition. He was on New England.
Yes.
The Colts. Took McAfee under his wing. Doesn't play any role in the Hall of Fame, but I mean, it plays something.
Yeah.
But he could produce at both organizations, and as well, I think he's also leading in scoring.
I believe you're correct. Yeah.
So I think he's first ballot, Trevor. No offense,
but a kicker.
Ray Guy.
He's a punter, but yes.
But you know what I mean?
He does the special teams. He does the kicking. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? I see it happening.
Okay. I thought you were going to go the other way and we were going to agree, but to me it's Beast Mode.
Okay.
I rewatched a good bit of Seattle highlights today. There was a nice little documentary on YouTube by KTO covering the Legion of Boom era Seattle Seahawks, and of course they brought up the Beastquake run, and they even brought up his time with the Bills and the Raiders afterward. He had some clutch moments and was very productive in those times as well. To me, it's Marshawn Lynch. It's a running back. It's a skill position. I don't think we're that far yet to where kickers are getting into the Hall of Fame before running backs are. We're close, but we're not that far yet.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We are going to go with what's more likely. Then I was going to jump a little bit into my news and then the all-in raise checker fold segment. So, yeah, take the Chiron down there. Apologies if I get distracted a little bit. I got some crazy people that are in the cabin playing college football. They're kind of going nuts on me. And they're not even hearing me and being considerate and shutting the fuck up. They're not even doing that.
You're good, Trevor.
So, no, they're just having fun.
It's a taste to the. I like it. It don't bother me.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Well, I know you don't hear them. I know the viewers don't hear them, but I hear them.
Yeah.
I'm right by the window, and the window's open. Anyway, moving on to some pieces of news that I got for this week. We talked a few weeks ago about the NFL Sunday Ticket lawsuit and how they ruled in favor of the plaintiffs, in favor of the individuals and businesses that were affected by the NFL Sunday Ticket package being exclusively offered on DirecTV. And as a result, a lot of out-of-market games were not viewable. If you want full details, go back and watch our episode. I think it was from June 25th. I think I talked about it a little bit. So go back and watch that. Some late breaking news on this. I got people texting me, which episode is that?
Right.
Like, come on. I'm doing the show live. I can't answer your fucking text messages. Sorry. I'm just a busybody this week. I'm very... And my brain is all over the place. But anyway, updates on the NFL Sunday Ticket lawsuit. A district judge, Philip Gutierrez, overturned the original district court's ruling and ruled in favor of the NFL, saying that the two key witnesses for the plaintiffs had flawed methodologies and that their testimonies should have originally been rejected.
Oh, wow.
Another big win for the monopoly that is the Shield, and a big L for football viewers, unfortunately. To kind of build on that, the judge ruled that because DirecTV had to negotiate the package with the NFL, no real output changes were seen from the NFL in terms of their out-of-market games, or at least through the median of the NFL, I guess, themselves. It was kind of, I guess, deflecting it to it being DirecTV's problem. But anyway, big L for consumers here. Do you have any thoughts on this, Mr. Billy?
I guess, I mean, you could use an example for the show. So when me and Trevor get to that, we're close to viewership. We need to get it a little higher. That's why we're pushing it.
Yeah, we need to bump it up.
Starting our
get the tags on there. Hey, man.
Tell your weird neighbor, your grandma, whoever. But no, when we get to that point, we'll have the option to have people pay to be a part of this little group. I don't want to. If we do that, I'm not going to charge a shit ton of money for you to be a part of this little fucking clique that you can add on to your YouTube page.
Well, there's stipulations to that. There's exclusive content and blah 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 blah. You know,
I just
figure out the nuances later. Yeah,
I think the NFL's losing the thought process and the appreciation for the consumer. That's all. You're fucking us over, man. You know, it's just.
Well, at least from 2011 to 2022. The timeline that was in judgment in this case. Yeah, they were screwing some folks over there. It's unfortunate.
And the biggest thing too, Trevor. I mean, I remember I knew probably 10 people that had it blackouts. All the time. I don't know what the hell it was then. What, $400 or $500?
Yeah.
And you're paying that amount of money for a service, and there's fucking blackouts. That's not. I don't think that's
insane.
Good. No, it's terrible. That's my thought process on it. They don't give a shit about the consumer right now with that verdict. That's all.
Have they ever?
Good old Raj.
Raj, people call David Stern slippery Stern. We got what are we gonna call Mr. Goodell? Grimy Goodell. Grimy Goodell.
Yeah, slimy hand fuck. That's what he is.
Slimy.
Probably have a black car trailing me tomorrow. I don't give a shit.
I'll DM him this episode where you call him a slimy-handed fuck. We'll see what he says. Go to about the 40-minute mark, Raj. You'll hear Drew Billy call you a slimy-handed fuck. What's your response?
It's whatever. There's been a lot of decisions over the years that I just don't agree with, and this just puts the icing on the cake. So.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'll still watch. That's my stupidity. But
I'll watch my Steelers because I get on the local channels. That's the reason. I did lose the Sports Pass thing where I'm not gonna have Red Zone anymore. So that's a bummer.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For those that don't know, Sports Pass was this service you could pay $20 a month and you pretty much get all the sports. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great, and including NFL Red Zone, which I probably won't have access to now, unfortunately.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
These big corporations are cracking down, brother. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving on from that to a little bit, I don't want to say more serious of a topic, but it is still a pretty serious topic. Talking about Algerian women's boxer Iman Khalif. I believe I pronounced that correctly. Please flag me if I did not, and please correct me. But anyway, so she fought Italian boxer Angela Sorini in the first round of the Olympics. And a lot of stuff came out about her not being a woman, having XY chromosomes, and participating illegally in the women's boxing.
Yep.
I just wanted to bring up a clarifying point that she is, in fact, a woman.
Yes.
That is according to the media monitoring organizations GLAAD, GLAAD, and Interact.
Right.
According to those outlets, she is in fact a woman and was eligible for Olympic competition as per the International Olympic Committee guidelines. They're very open with that. Right. And the weird thing with it was the International Boxing, the International Boxing, is it Alliance? I think that's what it is. Okay, I can't even see what it was, but let's just say the IBA. The IBA is a different governing body that oversees international boxing, right?
Yep.
So these women were banned from 2023 World Competition that happened in New Delhi because the IBA has different guidelines and different methods and tests as to gender eligibility.
Right.
The IOC is very open about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever's on your passport.
Right. Right.
It's whatever essentially is on your passport, and then that's what you're eligible to participate in. It says Imani Khalif is a female on her passport. That's what she gets to participate in.
Right.
And I know a lot of people came out, gave her a lot of hate. So for those that did, do your research before you post shit that is just clickbait at the very end of it. Otherwise, it just comes off as bullying. And I'm talking about my own side of the political sphere as well.
Correct.
Because I know Trump came out, J.D. Vance came out and kind of condemned this and said, I believe Trump put out a tweet that said, I will not allow women to participate in men's sports or men to participate in women's sports.
Right. Right.
Do your research first before you put that shit out there. And I know why Donald Trump is putting it out there. He's appealing to his voter base. He's appealing to the people that are going to vote for him in this upcoming election. He's building up his stock. I get it.
Right.
No problem. But Imani was eligible for the 2021 Summer Games.
Yeah.
We had no problem with it then.
Right.
But it's in these 2024 games that we suddenly have an issue with it. And I know transgenderism much bigger of an issue in 2024 than it is in 2021. 2021, we were dealing with a global pandemic still.
Right. Yeah.
But the fact that standards changed, I should say societal standards on one side changed over that time. Interesting to me, whereas the organizational standards, they did not change. They've been the same. And until those Tokyo games in 2021, the IBA were the ones that regulated the boxing.
Right.
They were the ones that oversaw the boxing. And then it deferred to the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, at the start of those 2021 games. Hence why Imani Khalif and the likes of Lin Yu Ting, a Taiwanese transgender boxer, were allowed to participate in women's boxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, saw a lot of it. It's an interesting time for sports, Trevor.
We are at a very big inflection point. Yes, and
my thing I saw, and I feel like you're more equipped in this topic right now than I am. But I did see somewhere she was born with higher levels of testosterone for some reason. Is that correct, or is that not valid? Because there's so much shit going on now.
So one clarifying point first, IBA's International Boxing Association. That's what that stands for. And I'm glad you asked that too, because I missed one of my bullet points here that indicates Khalif, she is a woman. Yeah. She suffers from a rare occurrence in the body called differences of sexual development, which I don't know all the nuts and bolts of it, but I know it affects your hormones, it affects your genetics, and it could lead you to having XY chromosomes, even though you are technically a female. And that's what happened in this case.
Right. Right.
And it's a very, very rare case. Yeah. And, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that this was brought to light to give it some awareness. It's just, these couple of these athletes had to suffer some online abuse and bullying as a result. But a silver lining is you get some awareness as to these DSDs, as they're called, differences of sexual development. Right. Very rare, but it is possible to have XY and still be a female. Mm-hmm. Right. Who knew? I certainly didn't know until I did the research.
Right. I just think we need, I don't know. I'm just
take your time. Yeah. I know you don't want to say the wrong words. Yeah.
Because you don't want to say to me, Mr. Scrooge, even though we're a smaller podcast. I just think we need to have better regulation on it. Not being negative towards her, Trevor, at all.
I
think this is going on. We've seen it before outside of athletics. You can tell with features.
Of course.
Men even get more estrogen, so they look more like a woman. It's a common thing.
Yeah. And I don't know if the inverse is possible, where you have XX, but you're technically a man.
Correct.
I would think it is, but the article I read, which is a USA Today article, it did not say that.
Right.
I don't know if that's possible. I would imagine it is, that you can go one way, you can probably go the other.
Right.
But yeah, I think what you're trying to get at is to have some clear, defined regulations on all this stuff, right?
I think they're not.
And
they were not ready.
It's an ambiguous topic. It's a very ambiguous topic that we're going to need to grow up and learn a little bit more about.
And not click articles and to just get pissed off. Because I listen, I love getting pissed off. But this,
we know you do.
I saw it. I'm just thinking there's a lot more people could have done to maybe prevent this. And it's just something. I don't know. It's just it's an interesting time.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, fair enough.
Because listen, and I got to say this too. Actually, I do have to say.
Sure.
This, make myself
go ahead
about this topic. And I keep losing it.
You can put it out in a short later.
Yeah, we're good there. I'm good.
Okay. You sure? If it comes to you, just stop me.
Yeah, we're good there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And before I move on to my next piece of news, if you look in the background now, you can kind of, on my other side here, you can more clearly see the coastline. I believe that's another part of the glove that is Michigan back here. So you can kind of see where the coastline meets the sea and the sky.
Yes.
So giving you guys all the views. Treasure it while it lasts because it's only lasting this week.
Right.
So anyway, moving on to more positive news, talking about one of your favorite people, not just favorite athletes, favorite people of all time, Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
His legacy continues to live on. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God rest his soul. Absolutely. So I didn't know this, but apparently they can auction off lockers of these old basketball players. And one of Kobe Bryant's lockers from his 03-04 final season. You remember that season, right? You were a wee lad watching Kobe and Shaq fucking tear it up.
Yes.
Good times all around.
Yeah.
So he used that locker from his 03-04 final season to his 15-16 season. That locker sold for $2.9 million this past week. And the bidding, it was around $800,000 with a few minutes left. There were a few bidders that just kind of kept going back and forth, and it eventually got it to $2.9 million, which to me is just absolutely insane. But some other Kobe memorabilia that has hit the markets at like record-setting numbers almost. What do we got here? Autographed and photo match jersey from his rookie season sold for $3.69 in 2021. Game used and photo matched Bryant jersey from his MVP season, his 07-08 campaign, which I was shocked to find out was his only MVP campaign.
Yes.
Sold for 5.6. And then that's really all the ones that they bring up there. And a nice little touching story here. When the Staples Center underwent 20 renovations in 2018, there was a staff worker that prevented that locker, Kobe's locker, from being worked on and being moved and tampered with. So good on that fucking guy, right?
Right.
Hopefully he got a little commission as a result of that.
Right. And the amazing thing about that 2003-2004 season, that's when they could have had a super team. Karl Malone and Gary Payne were there. It's actually play as them on 2K, but no, I think as time goes on, it was such a sudden death. I think his going up.
No, as it should, as it absolutely should.
Right.
Long live Kobe Bryant, and his legacy will live on, hopefully within his family, and a little bit less importantly with the legacy that he left on the basketball court, the memorabilia that's sold, and how people remember him, and all that.
Yep.
His legacy is going to live forever, buddy. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's a Rodman.
Please.
That's all I read. Yeah. That's just how we do it. I'm not going to read
Godspeed.
Harry Potter. No offense to the Harry Potter fans out there. That's only 2 books I've actually read. So.
Yeah. I read the Hunger Games back in the day. I don't know if you read those.
What's this?
Did you read the Hunger Games back in the day?
Watch the movies. What was
Watch the movies.
Was Bernstein Bears.
Bernstein. Oh wow, that's a nice. That's a throwback. That's a throwback. And just to show y'all how good of a time I'm having, let me put it toward the actual camera here. There we go.
Hell yeah. But
I haven't had one of those in a minute. Those are really good. Really good. Corona's been my beer of choice this year. I'm mixing it up on this trip.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on to our newest segment, All In, Raise, Check, or Fold. If you want to cue up the transition for us, Billy.
Yes. And we did.
The graphical genius that you are.
No. A little tasteful. Nothing too. Did that on GarageBand, so if anybody wanna, check that out, it's a great app.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. You might know this guy. He's become a bit of a pop culture icon, and he's been doing what he's been doing for a long time. He's been shooting in the Olympics since 2012.
Yes.
Talking about a guy named Yusuf Dikek from Turkey.
Yes.
Took the silver medal without wearing like any equipment, like no like adjusting eye lenses, just a pair of earplugs, and he's facing down the target like this. Bang!
Right.
Take silver. I know you've seen all the memes and TikToks and Instagram reels of everything that's come out about him. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
So where are you on the spectrum of all in, raise, check, or fold on Yusuf Dikek being the most iconic silver medalist in Olympic history?
Guy's deadly. I'm going all in.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Is he the guy that there was something with him in his hands in his pockets?
Well, yeah, he had his hand in his pocket. He was like doing the facing the target. Boom.
Yeah. There's a level of
action movie star style. Bang.
I do this
silver medal.
Yeah. He's at the fucking Olympic Games and it's like a leisure target practice. Like
yeah. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I was hoping you'd say all in. I agree with you.
Oh.
I agree with you. I think I saw a quote. I forget who it was by. No one remembers who took second place. I don't even know who took gold in shooting.
I don't.
I know who took silver.
Yep. Yeah.
Nobody remembers who's in first place in this case.
No.
It's awesome.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So going back to something we talked about earlier with the Giants and Lions joint practice,
mm-hmm.
Fighting in the preseason practices and training camp is a good thing.
Let's go Rays.
Rays on that? Okay. I was in between Rays and check. I'm going to go Rays as well. I kind of alluded to it earlier, spoiled my answer to this one. But to me, it just kind of lays everything out there, gets all your grievances out. Old school wrestling room style. If, kids are having a tough time in high school, they throw them in the wrestling room. They hash it out for a little bit, and they get everything out, right?
Right.
Similar type of philosophy with these joint practices and with fighting at practice, training camp, before the season, obviously, in general.
Right.
To me, it's a good thing to get all that shit out right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, too, and to people that watch football and don't watch football, I'd rather have an inner squad.
Yeah.
Guys, because, Trevor, let's be honest here. Where these guys are coming from, not the best areas. This is it. They're
used to more violent. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
But you like, if I see a guy that's like James Harrison, for example, what the fuck? He was cut 4 times. Still kept coming, and he was intense in practice. Big Ben said it, Hines Ward, all those guys. That's the fucking guy. That's what I want on the team. Dan Campbell, his vision of let's beat the shit out of each other. Who's going to be standing after it? That's my philosophy. I like that.
Well, it's they're not actively like promoting that. It's just a byproduct of being out in whatever degree heat that you're in, depending on where you're at in the continental U.S.
Right.
It's a byproduct of that, and emotions are running high. Guys are competing for roster spots.
Yeah.
Shit's going to get violent. Shit's going to get scrappy.
Fuck yeah. Fucking class.
Get it out now.
Yep.
Get it out now. And sometimes it'll help those like 4th and 5th stringers maybe even get a roster spot.
Right.
It's like you show you give a shit about this team. You're willing to ball out. Mm-hmm. You're willing to fight for your spot. Let's go.
Right.
Some coaches have that mentality. Some coaches don't like the violence, but I know the likes of Dan Campbell.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they I shouldn't say they like the violence. They like the byproducts of the violence.
Correct. And I think in a weird way, Tomlin's like that. He wants to see the guys.
Yeah, a little bit of scrap. I mean, why do we think we hear every other week Cam Hayward's hitting somebody?
Or George Pickens is getting mouthy a little bit, you know?
Yeah, you know.
And I think, too, if you're a Steeler fan, he's not giving us a clear answer on the quarterback situation because he wants to see them battle. He doesn't want their decision to be out there now.
Oh, every day I hear something different on that quarterback situation.
Correct.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
I think he just loves the unknown, Trevor. He loves toying.
No, I know.
But I don't want to tangent too far off this. But yeah.
No, you're totally. We got talking about training camp. No worries, bud. No worries. So sticking with football, according to Miles Sanders, it's like night and day with their culture from last year to this year. Last year, a lot of infighting, a lot of contention within management, and it stemmed all the way down to the coaches and to the players.
Right.
Apparently, this year's different. Everybody's actually getting along. It seems to be a more cohesive unit, and they seem to be actively building towards something as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So my proposition to you in this all in, raise, check, or fold, the Panthers have actually set themselves up for success down the road with this revamped culture. Do you buy into those rumors yet?
We're going to have to check.
You checking on that?
Yeah, we're not. Mm-mm.
I don't believe that for a second. I'll believe that when I see it. So I'm a fold. I'm putting my cards back in on that. No way, bro.
If Bryce Young is able to be who I know he could be,
yeah,
a different culture, but he's still the young guy on the team, so we'll see what happens.
Right. And to me, if you have to talk about how good your culture is, how good is your culture actually?
That's the other piece, because, and I know people fucking hate that we push. You don't need to know. You don't need to be told Steelers culture. Okay.
No.
You see it. You see the gentlemen that are in the Hall of Fame, or the whatever the fuck it is, Wall of Honor,
Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. They all carry themselves pretty well, Trevor. So and they were damn good on the field. And they they let the play talk. So that's good. You're saying your atmosphere, your what the hell were we even talking about? I'm so pissed off that
culture, just culture in general.
Culture down there, man. Your owner's a dickhead.
And culture starts at the top. At the top, Mr. Tepper.
Yeah.
He's the new he who shall not be named. I know. Yeah.
I'm just going
go on.
The Rooneys league wide are respected because they do it the right way, and they treat their players the way they should be treated. They treat the fans well as well. Tepper, he's a dick. He's trying to cut corners.
Yeah.
And beer. He's trying to take money from what, residents through taxes or whatever the hell he's trying. I don't know what the hell he's trying to do. But it's
raising money for the stadium renovations through the taxes. Man. Yeah.
I can't get
either. Yeah. Solicit through private funding, will you? Come on.
I can't. Since Rivera left there, it's been a disaster. It's been a disaster. And Cam.
Mm-hmm. Really been since that 2015 team. It's been pretty downhill.
I mean, 9 years of shit show.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, they made playoffs a couple times, but otherwise, not great.
Matt Corral. I mean, what the hell are we even talking about here, Trevor? Matt Corral.
Corral.
What? I don't even have enough.
Like Golden Corral, Matt Corral.
I don't even have enough respect for him to say his name right. I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I just know it because he torched Penn State a couple times at Mississippi State, or Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
My shit. But yeah, no, that's where I'm at. Sam Darnold. I mean, really, I don't need to say anymore. It's a disaster.
Yeah. I understand. Moving over to a sport that you're not as familiar, moving back to baseball, but a team that we've been covering off and on throughout the season. Mm-hmm. Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
Right now, they have the same record as the Yankees, 67-46, 21 games above, leading the AL East race via tiebreaker. Where are you on this statement that the Baltimore Orioles are going to be 2024 World Series champions?
We'll raise. No, shit, check. No.
You check? I'm raising, brother.
All right.
I love this team.
I hate Baltimore.
To me, you hate Baltimore that much?
I hate it.
I hate the Ravens that much, or excuse me, the Ratbirds. I hate the Ratbirds that much. I don't hate the Orioles. I like the Orioles. I like Rushman. I like Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
I have nothing against them. They have a nice park too.
Been to the park. It is nice. I will say that.
Yeah, it's nice. Good people running that show down there. Good ownership group too.
Yeah, there are.
Okay, I convinced you, I guess. Okay, but no, I'm going to raise on that because a lot of these analysts they're throwing around this very statement, and I know the Orioles, they haven't been to a World Series in a while. They lost a couple to the Pirates in the '70s, and they're at the tippy top of their powers that they've been in a long time.
Right.
Couple MVP candidate, I should say MVP candidate in Gunnar Henderson, potential home run king. I've yet to look at the spread since we last talked about Aaron Judge versus Gunnar Henderson at the All-Star break. But I got to imagine it's still relatively close. Yeah. They got the pitching, they got the defense, they got the hitting. Yeah. They got all three elements required to make a run. And I could very well see it happening. And again, get some new blood in there, right? I'm sick of seeing these pinstripes.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. Good shit. Good shit.
I do. I like their.
I don't. They can shove those. Now, I like some Yankees players. I like Jeter. I like Mattingly from back in the day. My dad actually liked him, and I watched a lot of his film from back in the day. Well, I guess how can you not like Mickey, right? Hanging out with Maryland. Yeah. I don't like Clemens. I know you like Clemens.
I don't think maybe it was a 30 for 30, or it was Undeniable with Joe Buck. I can't stand Joe Buck. I watched some of the things with the athletes. His life story, Trevor, very touching, though. I have to say.
Fair enough. Yeah.
For the Jews, I respect him more, but that's all
right. Okay.
I did like him throwing the bat at Piazza, though, like the fire.
I'm on the opposite end of that. That's unsportsmanlike.
If they watch this episode, that's all.
I know who you said to piss that off. Anyway, moving on. So there's this show out there that's kind of taken the world by storm, and it's even very popular to this day. It's still the number 4 show on Apple TV, even though the finale released about a year ago, maybe a year and 2 months ago. Yep. Talking about Ted Lasso. I bit the bullet, and I got Apple TV for a month just to watch Ted Lasso. And my intention was just to watch it through once and then cancel my Apple TV. I watched it through 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And I watched the finale again today. And at the ending sequence, they played the song Fathers and Sons. I forget who it's by, but I'll look that up after the fact. Actually, you know what? I'll look it up now just so people can go look it up and feel the same tears running down my face, or running down your face that I felt running down my face.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan Turgenev. Ivan Turgenev. That's the guy. Okay. That plays during the ending sequence, and there's this whole theme of fathers and sons throughout the whole thing, and me having the connection I have with my father, struck some chords a little bit. In addition to being a very hilarious comedy and a very good story about, of all things, a soccer team in Great Britain.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What the fuck, Yeah. So my statement to you, and you've watched Parks and Rec. We've discussed this before. I've watched it as well. Went on for, I think it was 7 or 8 seasons. Did pretty well. Iconic characters, Ron Swanson, Leslie Knope, and a few others. Aziz Ansari's character.
Mm-hmm.
However, Ted Lasso is better than Parks and Rec.
We'll have to watch and see what the hell.
No, you've watched the clips. What do you think? Based on the clips that you've watched, for context, I've watched the full show. Billy has only watched clips on the Reels and TikTok.
I think Lasso could be better. I just got to watch them in full and get the full.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was an Office guy. That's no offense to Parks and Rec.
Oh, that's me too. It's Ted Lasso's still behind that.
Yeah, but
for a while it was Office was number 1, Parks and Rec was number 2, and so on and so forth. Now Ted Lasso's sliding into that 2 spot for me. But based on the limited information that you have on Ted Lasso, where are you at?
Oh, is this with All In Race Checker Fold?
Yeah, this is with
I'll go. Not watching full, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, just off what I saw. I mean, I don't.
No, I got you. And if my subscription didn't expire in 3 days, I'd give it to you. But
no, yeah, no, I'll definitely put it on the list and fucking watch it. Yeah.
Yes, highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Needless to say, I'm all in on it.
Okay.
I loved Parks and Rec, but let's be straight here. The first 2 seasons were not good.
No.
They were not good at all. Season 3 onward, absolutely fantastic, worthy of its praise. Seasons 1 and 2, Ted Lasso did not have a bad season, even though it was only 3. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were writing. They knew what story that they wanted to tell, and they did it to perfection.
Right on.
Cool. And that is it for this week's edition of All In, Raise, Check, or Fold. Always love to throw the element of, entertainment / wrestling / stuff outside the quote unquote real sports. But anyway, I think, what do we got left here, Billy? We got NFL schedule, then debate time, yeah?
Just before we do it, because I hate fucking making you wait. What teams are
please?
Because see, there's for the viewers. I don't know what I can't remember.
No, I got you.
I know it's a disservice to Trevor, but it's to prove I have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
No, I don't. It's not a disservice. I probably should have sent you this way beforehand, like a screenshot of it or whatever. But anyway, Ravens Bengals this week. 2 teams that we have hated for our entire football fandom.
Yeah, these are
the Ratbirds a little bit more so than the Bengals because lately the Bengals they've kind of been the lovable losers to me.
Yeah.
So. Ratbirds though, I still obviously can't stand. So.
Right. Let me get this up here and we'll get going.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Little weird music, but cool. Right? Kind of, what I picture, I don't know, you're bobbing down the street, drinking a nice crisp Jack and Coke. That's a little night at the Roxbury kind of thing going there. But I'm excited for this. Also, disclaimer, I'm not going to make the Ravens 0-17. Okay, I know some people out there know how much I love my Ravens. They're pieces of shit, but we'll give them a fair shot.
You don't. Likewise, I didn't even have the Ravens anywhere close to that, even though my heart wanted to, but my brain overrode my heart.
Yeah.
And the betting man in me was like, "Nah, you shouldn't do that."
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but who do you want to cover first, bud?
Let's do the finale as the Ravens, because just
okay,
stick around longer. Yep.
All right. Cool. So Cincinnati Bengals. What do we got here?
Guy that watches this, Trevor. I'm not saying I don't know his name, but I'm just picturing him. You motherfucker! Why? What? Now I gotta stay here long? No, we're doing the Ravens. Okay, we are in control of the content here. Okay, all right. You
can tune out and tune back in, or watch the clips later. It's up to y'all.
Later on, you If you want to be a prick.
Yeah, y'all don't have to watch us. You're here because you want to watch us, which is even more of a compliment to
You feel
us.
sick.
So we appreciate it.
Yeah. Jesus.
But anyway, Cincinnati, they got a lot of primetime games going on, and they have the 6th ranked strength of schedule, so not too terribly tough of a schedule, especially in comparison to the rest of the AFC North.
Right.
But starting out here, they begin their season on a relatively, I should say relatively easy stretch. They got New England, Kansas City, and then Washington. Kansas City is on the road, and that Washington game is a Monday night game.
2-1.
2-1.
Yep.
Beat the obvious.
Yep.
Beat the obvious, lose to the obvious. They have had good luck against KC, though.
Yes, they have.
So I could easily see early season KC slipping up.
Okay.
So what do I got here? I got them sweeping that.
Okay.
Got them beating Kansas City on the road.
Okay.
Joe Burrow seems to have Mahomes' number for whatever reason. I think that continues. And then New England, Washington. Sorry, Cincinnati's just a superior team. Even though some people say, "Oh, they don't." Their offensive line didn't really improve. The defense didn't really improve. Even in comparison to those two teams, especially New England, it's clear cut to me. I don't think they're going to let those slip. Moving on from there, they go at Carolina versus Baltimore, then at the New York Giants. And that New York Giants game's the only primetime in that stretch, a Sunday nighter.
I'm going to go 3-0 here.
3-0. I have 3-0 as well. So I have them starting out 6-0. You got them at 5-1.
Yep.
Good shit.
Yep.
Beating Baltimore at home too. You think they just split with them?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
You could go.
That's a fair assessment. If anybody sweeps, I think it's Baltimore.
Yep.
But yeah, I see a nice even split there. I have the home teams winning. Cool with that. And then Carolina Giants, same thing. Far superior teams as with New England and Washington. So again, not terribly tough of a schedule, which is why I can see them really going on a run.
Yep.
In the weeks 7 through 9, they go at Cleveland versus Philly versus Vegas. All Sunday games.
So they drop one. Or they drop 2.
You think they drop one? They
One
drop 2.
1 and 2.
Okay.
They lose to the Browns.
Okay. Interesting.
To the Eagles.
That's the one I was gonna mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got them starting out. What do we got here? 6-3. Still a pretty good start. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do I have here? I had them winning. Oh, I had them losing 2 or 3. I have them losing to Vegas though, beating Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Vegas they're gonna be involved in a lot of trap games this season, and they're gonna take advantage of a couple of those. Cincinnati being one of them. Then at Cleveland, Cleveland's just a tough place to play. I think they split with them as well throughout the season. So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll give that one to Cleveland. But they beat Philly at home in a very, very competitive contest. That's actually that's one of their tougher stretches as we go throughout their season. But moving on, their bye week comes in at week 12, but in weeks 10 and 11, they go to Baltimore and then to the Chargers, respectively. Baltimore is a Thursday night affair following that Vegas game.
So I'm going to go. They lose this one to the Ravens.
Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm with you there. Lose to the Ravens, beat the Chargers.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
I believe that's what I have as well. Let me look at my sheet here. Oh, shit. No, I actually had them sweeping Baltimore. Oh, geez. Okay. That's interesting.
It could happen. I'd love it.
I guess it could go either way. I know I'm kind of going back on what I said earlier, but that's how last night me filled it out, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I'm going to roll with. All right. Even though today me says otherwise, last night me filled this out saying, Cincinnati's going to sweep Baltimore. So fuck it. I'll stick to it, eh? Yeah, then they got their bye week, week 12, and now they get a Pittsburgh game at Dallas, then at Tennessee in those following 3 weeks. And that Dallas game is a Monday night game.
We're going to go 1-2 here, Trevor.
1-2, and I know who you have them losing to.
Yep.
I know exactly who you have them losing to.
Yep.
I hate to break it to you, Billy, but this is where I have Pittsburgh losing to Cincinnati on the road.
That's all right. It's real.
Yeah.
Gotta be real.
It's a tough team. They're a very tough team, and I don't know if our secondary is going to be able to keep up with that duo of Higgins and Chase. So,
correct.
Don't forget they got Mike Gesicki on that team too.
Right. Yes.
So.
Came over from the Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be a tough day for our defense.
Yep.
Could be, or it could just be a tough day for our offense, and we lose 13-10 or some bullshit like that. That could happen too.
Correct. And I'll flip the fuck out. But yeah.
No, absolutely. And then Dallas on the road, regular season, makes sense. Then at Tennessee, beating Tennessee again, Cincinnati being the far superior team.
Yep.
But I don't know about far superior, but superior team.
Yep.
Good with that as well.
Yep.
Then in their last 3 weeks, they got Cleveland, Denver, both of those at home, and then they go to Pittsburgh.
So 2-1. Now I know.
Okay.
You know who they're losing to. I have to say this. The Steelers will sweep the Bengals. They're going to split with the Ravens. I don't want to go too far ahead, but that's my fucked up mind.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Preemptively, do you have the Steelers sweeping the Browns as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as a Okay. Little spoiler for the fans there for next week.
I'll talk more next week. We don't need
that. No, no problem, brother. No problem. So what do we got here? I actually have them losing 2 of those 3. I have them losing to Pittsburgh that time, and losing to Cleveland. I think they get swept by Cleveland. Weirdly, I think Joe Burrow. He's like 1-5 against Cleveland. I think he goes to 1-7.
Yep. He
has a weird thing against Cleveland, so that's where I have their losses coming in. But I do have them at 12-5. Okay. You have them at, let me count off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm at 10-7. You okay with 10-7?
Yeah, I want to know the over and under. That's where we're going to get concerned here, Trevor.
No, I got you. Yeah, here we go. 10-7. The over under is actually 10.5. You can believe that.
You tell me, people.
You're right around it. You are right around it.
Oh well, you're.
Well, yeah, no, I'm on the over. I got a couple more wins than you do, and I actually got them winning the AFC North. Ooh. Spoiler for the Baltimore picks.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know, man. I know. It's a little weird to have that, but that's what I have.
Store, baby. Joey B. Looking like some.
Yeah. I trust in Joe Burrow. I trust in him wholeheartedly this year. They got a relatively easy schedule. It's the last year that they're going to be able to try it with T. Higgins.
Correct.
So, to me, this is where they make their run.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
They essentially have to, and I know when Joe Burrow has to do something, he usually gets it done, and I think he gets it done.
Right.
At least winning the AFC North. I don't have my playoff predictions yet. I'm not even close to that.
Yeah, we're not there.
Still working through the regular season here.
Correct.
But anyway, working through you. Oh, excuse me. You had them beating Cleveland and Denver, right? In those last 3.
Oh,
in those 2 of the last 3. Okay. I screwed up my Excel sheet. That's why. But going back to the grand finale of this week with the NFL season predictions, Baltimore Ratbirds, the team that has, well, you know how we feel about them. You see the hat that Billy's wearing.
Yeah.
You know how Steeler fans feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, it does take me back watching those old Sunday night games from the late 2000s.
It's one of the greatest rivalries, in my opinion. But
there was an NFL top 10 that had it listed close to, I think it was like 4 or 5, even though it's a young rivalry,
Young.
It's not like Steelers Raiders from back in the day that, extends all the way back to the 70s. This thing only came about in the 90s and the aughts. So,
right.
Anyway, going to Baltimore,
Mhm.
Don't believe much really changed with them other than getting Derrick Henry, who a lot of people are picking to have the rushing title this season. I could maybe see that happening just because of the style of offense that they play. And Henry is still a beast. I don't care how old he is. He's still a 6'4", 260-pound mother bleeping beast.
Right.
That can apparent. I have bad memories of him in college and in pro ball. I wish he was on my team. I really do. I really do. But other than that, going down their roster here, I don't really see any. Yeah, no big changes other than losing Patrick Queen to our Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, that was the big thing. But starting out here, they got the opener of this season against Kansas City on the road. Then they got Vegas, and then they got Dallas on the road to start out their first three.
We'll go 2-1.
2-1.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I have them going 2-1 as well. Who do you have them losing to? I'm curious. Losing to the Cowboys. Oh, you think they beat Kansas City?
Kansas City sucks at the beginning of the season now. I don't know what.
That is true. That is true.
God. It takes
I
them
think
It takes them till November to play actually good fluidity fucking football.
Fair enough, man. Now, I think in my Kansas City picks, I think I had Kansas City losing, but now, for whatever reason, this time around, I have Baltimore losing. So I switched that one up. And then I have them beating Dallas and Vegas.
Okay.
So, but no, that Dallas game, that'll be fun.
It'll be a good one.
That'll be fun. Different styles of play, too. Dallas focusing more on the passing attack and the pass rush.
Yep.
The opposite for Baltimore, focusing more on the rushing attack and the option and all that good stuff. That'd be an interesting game. But, okay, same record starting out. We have them going 2-1 in the weeks following. They got Buffalo, then on the road against Cincinnati, and then versus the Commanders. That Buffalo game is a Sunday night game.
They win the Buffalo game off the foot of Justin Tucker.
Okay, I could see that. That is at home. That's at in Baltimore too. So,
and I do see they lose to the Bengals. So 1-2 here. Yeah,
1-2.
Yeah,
they lose to Washington too.
Oh, sorry, 2-1. Trevor, fuck.
Or 2-1. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Yeah, no problem there. It's all good. I have the same exact thing, actually. Beating Buffalo, losing to Cincy, and then beating Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I have them Cincinnati sweeping them. I thought I had a split, but I had them sweeping them.
Okay.
So that's the first of that tandem right there of Cincinnati sweeping Baltimore. In the weeks following, they got Tampa Bay on the road, Cleveland on the road, and then Denver at home. That Tampa Bay game is a Monday night
game. 3-0.
3-0. Okay.
Fuck.
I like that. I have them losing to Tampa on a Monday night though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tampa's going to win some weird games.
Yeah.
Like teams that they shouldn't beat. I think they're going to beat. Tampa beating Baltimore. I think that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then beating Cleveland, beating Denver. Yeah, to me that just makes sense. That Baltimore has the better talent roster than both of those teams on paper. If the game were played on paper, they'd win both of those games, and that's kind of how we're judging it right now. So,
right.
Anyway, moving on. Weeks 10 through 12, they got Cincinnati at home, at Pittsburgh, at the Chargers.
So, 2-1.
2-1.
Yep.
Okay.
They beat the Bengals here. They beat the Steelers, and they lose to the Chargers. It's a battle of the Harbaugh brothers.
And Jim wins this one. Jim wins this one. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I have the exact. What do I have here? I have the exact inverse. I have them losing to Cincinnati, losing to Pittsburgh on the road, and then beating the Chargers.
Okay.
We flipped that one. It might be the first time that we did that.
Yeah.
We totally just flipped the script there. Totally fine though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati continuing the sweep there. Pittsburgh on the road, they just always seem to struggle. No matter how weird our roster is, no matter how we're put together, Baltimore seems to struggle at Pittsburgh and lose it in the weirdest of fashions. The Mark Andrews drop. Yeah. I guess the Antonio Brown extend over. Yeah. Several other examples. And then beating the Chargers. Yeah, I got John winning that one. Sorry, Jim. Your foray back into the NFL is cut a little bit short by your brother.
Yeah.
Ho-hum. Yeah. Week 14 is their bye. Surrounding that, in Week 13, they got Philly at home. And then in Week 15, they go at the New York Giants.
They split here, 1-1.
Split? Okay. Okay. I have them winning both.
Okay.
I have them winning both. Yeah, kicking the Giants' ass. I think everybody's going to kick the Giants' ass. It's in the upper half of the league.
Yep.
Unless by some miracle they pull last year's Texans out of their ass, but I don't really see that happening. And then beating Philly.
Yep.
Another good coaching battle there. Week 16 through 18, they go versus Pittsburgh, at Houston, and then versus Cleveland.
Big game for the Steelers. They win this one, Trevor. And then they finish
the
Ravens.
Okay. They beat Houston, beat Cleveland?
Yep.
Okay. Very good.
Some reason December we're able to skate by against these motherfuckers. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Now I have them actually beating Pittsburgh at home.
Okay.
And then losing to Houston on the road, beating Cleveland at home. Okay. Houston's going to be a tough out. And I don't know how late season Houston's going to perform in the second year of C.J. Stroud's tenure, but my guess is that they'll give the Ravens a run for their money and then beat Cleveland at home and sweep them. So I got them going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a very good season for them. I got them going 11-6.
Okay.
And then let me count it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got them at 12-5, man.
Fuck.
You didn't want them that high, did you?
No. They lose both games to Pittsburgh.
Huh?
They lose both games to Pittsburgh.
Okay, you want them losing at Pittsburgh then?
Both.
You switching that up? Okay. Yeah. Okay, pushing them down to 11-6.
Yeah, I can't. I don't want to tie with you there, but I can't have them with 12 wins. I'll fucking have a nightmare tonight.
Yeah.
Get the coach I can go into sleep paralysis.
Oh my god, man! No, that's okay. That's.
Oh my god, Trevor! Yeah. I'm getting fucking.
You're having a conniption over there, bud.
I'm getting fucking hot flashes because I just had 12 wins. Oh my! Oh.
You okay?
My skin's fucking turning against me, or my blood. My blood just is fucking whatever.
Good Lord, man! You gotta relax over there. I hate
the shit birds. Oh God.
Anyway, well, we both got them at 11-6. Their over/unders 10.5, so we got them going slightly over.
Okay.
And for your consideration, strength of schedule is 29th, so they have the they have like the third toughest schedule.
Okay. Okay.
So. And that's it for this week's edition of NFL Season Predictions with Buckle Up with the Boys. Be covering the other half of the AFC North next week, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, sorry. The team that Big Ben owns, right.
Yeah, correct. Well, he also owns the Bengals to an extent as well. In Ohio, I should say. In Ohio. He just owns the state of Ohio.
Yeah. But yeah, be sure to check in next week for all your betting needs. As Trevor said, we'll be covering more of the NFL season, and he alluded to the playoffs. We'll get to that as time goes on here, people. We need to get through the season first before we excited.
Of course. Well, I will say at the end of this, we actually wrap this. I believe it's a week before the regular season starts.
Okay.
Yeah, so we wrap all of these predictions on the August 27th show. On the September 3rd show, I'm just going to be mapping out divisions, and then we can map out playoffs on that show as well. See what the hell is going to
happen. Hell yeah. But no, hell of a job. All right, switching over to debate time here. Goddamn.
There's how loud it is again.
It's not coming through my headphones. It's coming through the laptop. Yeah. I got to remember this segment half bar, not full.
Half bar.
So yeah, debate time here. We got 4 questions for yours truly and Trevor to talk about debate. It's not really debate, just give opinions, see if we match up at all or disagree. But I'm telling you, I got to say this. Don't get mad about them in the background, but the excitement. If you're seeing the excitement these guys are having over this college football game, you should fucking get it. This should be a promo for the game, Trevor.
Can you hear them?
Yes. How excited? That's what I did. But how excited?
Okay.
It gets you so fucking pissed.
It does. It does. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. I mean, do you want me to tell them to shut up? I can tell them to shut up.
We're on the last segment. It's no big deal.
All right, fine.
I love it. It adds flavor to it, man.
You didn't hear them until now, though. They've been hooting and hollering.
It's good times. Don't bother me. Now, if we had, someone fucking screaming, like they were getting murdered, yeah, probably, yeah, we would have to, figure it out. But,
well, I mean, there was a little incident on the lake a couple nights ago. Somebody was out on a little canoe, didn't have their light on, and cops stopped them. That was fun.
Oh,
there was some yelling with that one. No bloody murder, but there was some yelling.
Right. But yeah, good. Big question here. Should the Olympics continue to rotate? Jesus Christ. Rotate host cities, or should there be a permanent host location? I've seen a lot of people get pissed off, a lot of activists about this, Trevor. What's your opinion on this?
Activists in what direction?
In regards to some of the facilities they don't always use after the Olympics, and then these facilities decay over time, and they're pissed off because wasted space. That was my kind of outlook on it. I like the rotation. I think it adds. I mean, who the hell would have thought Snoop Dogg was in Paris with this Olympics?
Flava Flav was watching water polo one day.
You know what I mean?
Flava fucking Flav,
And I think as the world is as well, I don't want to overhaul this fucking segment. I want to let you get your 2 cents in, but I think
sure.
How the world is, I don't think it's bad to accept what the time the athletes have over in their respective countries.
Sure.
So that's the beauty in it, I think.
Of course.
But what's your opinions on it?
Yeah, keep the rotation up. I'm good for that. To me, it just adds to the spectacle of it. It just adds to you get to see all these cities, you get to see all these the culture, the atmosphere. You get to see from all around the world. It's what unites us globally. And I think rotating between the host cities reflects that. That's why you have the Olympics, to bring all these athletes, the greatest athletes from all over the world in their respective fields. You bring them together and you have them compete. Mm-hmm. If you just had them competing in one city, to me, it would just get a little bland. It would just get a little bland, and you'd have a concentration of athletes from certain countries that had greater access to travel to that city. And then you're essentially skewing the Olympics at that point. In my estimation, I think that's what would happen.
Right.
So no, keep it cycling, please.
I think they do. And here's the other thing. You think back to '92, we weren't born yet, or maybe thought of. I don't know. But Michael Jordan, the spectacle Michael Jordan was, the fans in Barcelona, if they wouldn't have done it, they would have never made. They never would have maybe got to see Michael Jordan play in person.
Of course.
Yeah. I fucking hate LeBron, but there's a lot of LeBron fans out there, and there's a little kid over in Paris that might want to see LeBron, and that I think inspiration comes with it as well. I don't see.
Of course.
But people want to bitch, and that's whatever. That's how we have this topic for debate time. Big thing here. We've been adding to the segment WWE greatest WWE match.
Ever, just ever.
Yes, I have
all time.
Kind of spilled my beans or spilled my guts to you. Who I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have to say Andre and Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 3.
That's one of the more important ones. I'll give you that. And when you say greatest, you could mean a bunch of different things. You could mean in terms of match quality, like this is the greatest match of all time from a technical perspective. You could mean this is like the shining moment and made a superstar. You could mean it was just like the most entertaining and like the perfectly timed match. Like it was exactly what the company needed to move in a certain direction.
Yep.
There was kind of one other category I was thinking where you dub it greatest match of all time. So quality, importance, and then just like superstar shining moment. I guess that's kind of really all I had. But so I'm gonna go in terms of match quality.
Yep.
I'm gonna go that route. And I could select from a bunch of WWE matches here. I could go from Lesnar, Angle, any of those matches, especially that Iron Man match on SmackDown, the HBK Bret Hart match from WrestleMania 12, the Stone Cold Bret Hart match from WrestleMania 13, the double turn, which that you talk about an important match. That set in motion Bret Hart leaving the company and Stone Cold becoming the face of the company.
Right.
The double turn there. Of course, you could talk about Triple H and any of the Undertaker matches. Really, he had a few bad matches at WrestleMania. Giant Gonzalez, Big Boss Man.
Right.
Not going to talk about those, but far more of them were a spectacle. They were something to watch. And you could go even in terms of greatest matches. You could go into the concepts. Like I think the Royal Rumble concept is phenomenal. The War Games concept. Amazing. The 2023 War Games match this past year, absolutely. Randy Orton's return, CM Punk's return, on top of the match quality itself, fantastic. I think we're going to get a Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games this Survivor Series with Roman just coming back the other night. So be on the lookout for that. But my opinion, greatest match of all time has to involve the greatest in-ring performer of all time in WWE history, and that is Shawn Michaels. And I'm going to go with their WrestleMania 26 affair, not their WrestleMania 25 one. That might have been better quality, but 26 came very close to matching the quality, if not matching or exceeding it. You also had the tie-in of Shawn Michaels ending his career.
Right. No, I agree.
So Michaels, Undertaker, WrestleMania 20, and I saw that was one of the first WrestleManias I saw live. So that has a place in my heart as well.
Right. No, I agree with you. There's so many matches you go off. The only reason I went WrestleMania 3 was Andre. And I know it's everybody's thing they don't like to talk about, but it is scripted. It is what it is. We're not entailed to it, but
scripted, choreographed. Yeah. To me, that's kind of my fascination with it.
Right.
Is you have these athletes that literally have to train their asses off to deliver this performance art with precise timing and dramatic flair, crowd engagement. There's so many things that have to run through your mind as a professional wrestler. Even the likes of Kurt Angle and Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar, amateur guys that came up into the business, they say professional wrestling is harder than the amateur stuff. Because amateur, you're focused on one guy, the guy across from you, right? Professional wrestling, you're focused on the referee. You're focused on your opponent. You're focused on the ring crew outside. You're focused on the announcers, the crowd, everything.
Right.
To me, that's what's great about pro wrestling. And the fact that you can still engage fans with the caveat that it is choreographed.
Right. And the only reason, too, if you have not watched yet, watch Andre the Giant's documentary. I think it's The Giant or whatever. It's on HBO, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I think that's where I saw it. Yes.
Very good. Hulk Hogan's freaking out leading up to the match because he doesn't have the ending. They don't know how it's going to end. And Andre, not good in health. Trevor, he basically tells them when they're squaring off, lift. And that's how it, like, that, I don't know. That just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you got to call those matches on the fly, which is even more amazing because then you got to communicate with your dance partner, so to speak, in the moment and execute moves.
And it's one of the most, and Hulk Hogan watching him get emotional talking about it, just to see how much Andre meant to him and to the fucking organization as well. But no, that was a good one. 3 was the Immaculate Reception. Yeah, this is all you Raiders fans out there. Yes, I'm looking in the camera. I'm not looking at Trevor. I'm looking at you, the viewer, eating your popcorn, picking your ass while watching this episode. What was the Immaculate Reception actually a legal reception? Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
What the fuck do you think I'm going to say? Yes, it was. There's no evidence that shows that ball hit the ground. He didn't trap it.
Right.
I've yet to see an angle where the ball hit the ground.
Well,
I've yet to see an angle where it actually goes off of Frenchie Fuqua and not Jack Tatum.
So and you're far more. What the fuck am I looking for? This whole night I've been trying to fucking pull shit that I'm trying to say and then I forget. More advanced, you have more knowledge with the older stuff and
sure.
Statistics and stuff with baseball, football goes all around, storylines, whatever.
Credit for that goes to my uncle, father, and grandparents. They've educated me well.
Right. Now there was a rule, I believe, that the Raiders fans like to bring up, that the ball wasn't allowed to hit an offensive player, and wasn't
allowed to touch 2 offensive players other than the quarterback.
So,
like you weren't allowed, you couldn't have the band running on the field type of scenario.
Right.
Like you couldn't have that.
Is that a good argument for this situation we got here?
No.
Okay, that's what
it doesn't. How does it hit off of Fuqua if it goes straight back? Tatum literally lunges his shoulder into Fuqua. Well, he's bodying Fuqua, but in the process, he lunges his shoulder forward. How does the ball deflect that far back if it doesn't go off of him? Him.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you.
To me, the physics don't make sense, and like I said, I've yet to see a camera angle where either of those 2 arguments come true: the ball hitting the ground and the ball hitting Frenchie Fuqua.
Right. And I just want to say here first, because I don't think I've said it live on any episode, that play did not define Franco Harris's career. His career was already fucking made, Trevor. It would have been made without that play. He was just a good fucking person. God rest his soul. Because that's another
Rest
thing.
in peace. Rest in peace.
He would be a no-name motherfucker. No, what are you talking about? He was the lead rusher. I think the Steelers' all-time lead rusher for
long time. Till Bettis, I believe.
Yeah. So hop off, literally. The great. So number 4, and this is a shout out to a local business that I love, and Trevor already knows where I'm going to go. The greatest meal you've
amazing.
And
that's interesting because I've had a lot of good meals.
I know,
and a lot of good meals outside of El County, outside of the United States.
Right.
Not sure if that. Well, this is the greatest meal I've ever had because it's the one that I remember quite fondly, and that is having escargot and mussels smack dab in the middle of Paris.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You know what escargot are, right? You know what those are?
I think I'm familiar. I don't know for sure.
Snails. They're snails.
Oh, all right.
They're actually good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But it just the ensemble of it, like the atmosphere of it, wasn't the greatest food I've ever had. But that's the meal that I remember the most. I remember the most vividly, like who I interacted with, what I was talking about. One of those like out of body experiences where you remember where you are. It's like you're hovering over yourself.
Mhm.
That's kind of what that was for me. So I know that's a weird answer and maybe not the answer you were expecting, but
I like that.
yeah.
I didn't know wasn't expecting that one. I do like
Yeah.
whole background, but
Yeah, and it's also fitting that the Olympics in Paris, that's my favorite meal.
right.
From when I was in Paris.
Favorite all time is buffalo chicken from Stromboli from Doughboys, but honorable mention, Trevor would know, maybe have heard of this place. It's in Erie. Cork, I always fuck up the numbers. Cork 1792 or whatever the fuck. That was
that sounds right.
That was the best. I don't know what the fuck, Flamin' Young or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget the sides, but god damn it was that good. And they had a Sinatra cover band. And I said, you know what? It's gonna be all right. I don't want to see the bill, but this is very good.
Right. Yes. That's just it. That's just it. Honorable mention to Cheddar's as well. I had their strip steak at a graduation, and then I went back there a couple times after that. Very good.
Yes, Cheddar's is
very good. Very consistent.
But yeah, anything else though, Trevor? That was a quick debate.
No, that's all I got, brother. I'm ready to. As much as I love talking to you and talking to the viewers, I am ready to get back on my vacation here and go watch a little bit of Tulsa King with Sly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just be on the lookout. So Saturday, I got a free day. I will be putting out a lot of shorts from these episodes over the last year. Yes, last year. I'll talk with Trevor first, but there's going to be,
of course,
best moments, I think, from episodes thrown out on shorts to help us get the views on that. Also shooting a shit ton of other stuff you guys don't need to know. But if you start seeing Buckle Up with the Boys on suggested videos on some of your videos you watch out there, yours truly is doing some shit. But I'm not going to tell you. I don't want you to start your own YouTube channel and try to copy me. So, but anyways, have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. God bless. This is another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. All gas, no breaks. With your host here, DB, host Trevor Dinsmore. And we'll see you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock sharp. Also, actually not sharp. If I'm 5 minutes late and Trevor's 5 minutes late, don't give me shit. Okay, that means that we got some stuff going on. We got to get okay.
So pre-production meet. Think 8 o'clock baseball time.
I mean, there's a lot of for us to do this hour in 53 minutes. The server's got to be good. We've ran into that shit. The mic just fucked up. I mean, we're not Pat McAfee over here. We're a low budget podcast, but I think our content's better. Whoops, sorry about that, Pat. Hey, have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Love you, Pat.